Okay, so some fundamental stretches after you've run. If you've got really tight glutes, tight hamstrings, tight calves, it's really, really common for runners. And you're going to end up with hamstring issues. You're going to end up with low back issues, potentially sciatic issues, plantar fascia problems, uh, tibial problems, potentially shin splints. So I want you to do these every single day if you run. It doesn't take long. You can stretch your calves standing. You can stretch your calves standing, that's no problems. Personally, I like a trigger ball, because especially when you're time poor, you tend not to do the calf stretch unless you get in the habit of doing it, just like when you're standing talking to someone. Stand in the door frame, lean into it. I will show you that stretch. But, trigger ball. You place it into the meaty part of the calf, so right in between the two heads of the calf, the gastrocnemius. Literally, to start with, just rock it side to side. And you could do this with your leg up on the coffee table. Don't tell your other half I said to do it, because then I get in trouble. But leg on the coffee table, ball on the coffee table. You're sitting on the sofa, you're watching telly. Why can't you do this? Because I didn't think of it. Well, I'm telling you, just go do that now. Then you don't need any extra time in your day. You could, if you put a stool underneath your desk, you could be doing this while you're working. If you've got, if you can sit on the floor while you're working on your laptop, or while you're playing with the kids, or while you're watching telly in the evening, sit on the floor, rock a ball side to side, you're getting calf release. The benefit of this passive calf release is you get into your soleus and your plantaris if you get the ball low enough. Sorry for the plain noise, it's one of the side effects of living under the flight path. It's funny, isn't it? I don't notice the planes until I'm trying to do a video. So I've moved the ball down by the syndesmosis, and the syndesmosis is a common area of problem, especially in runners or speed athletes, anyone trying to run fast, because the syndesmosis is where the tendon connects to the muscular part of the calf, and that's where there's a problem, because the syndesmosis, the knitting, I'm almost imagine like when something's darned and you can see where it's been repaired. That's what the connection between the muscle and the tendon looks like. And it's trying to do two jobs. It's trying to be elastic enough to absorb the force like a tendon does, and it's trying to be contractile, and it's trying to resist the contraction as well. So it's trying to do so many jobs, and because it's juggling like that, it's most likely to drop a ball than anything else. Because the calf just contracts, because that's its job, and the tendon just shock absorbs, because it's its job. But when you're asking something to do more than one thing, it's gonna struggle. So get nice and low. I'm leaning forward a little bit to put my weight through, but I'm not pushing into the ball. You can, but it doesn't really give you a great amount of benefit. And if you can see, I'm just flexing my foot forward and back to floss the tendon over the ball, and that's where the release comes from. If it's not doing it for you, rock it side to side. I don't like that. Now, turn the foot out. Exact same thing. Remember, you are three-dimensional, so you want to hit all angles. When you run, you do not just run in a straight line, even if you're on a treadmill, because your ankles roll, your knees roll, your hips roll, so there is rotation as you run. If you're running outside, then you've got the camber of the road to consider. Rock through both sides. I would suggest that you spend 30 to 60 seconds per dimension of your leg, because you're doing this while you're doing other things, right? So it's not time-consuming, it's just multitasking. I can hear my child. Next one, ball, bum cheek. You can do it on a dining room chair, you can do it on anything firm. Start with the leg bent, just open and close. Hello baby, open and close. Just gently rock onto the ball, open your glute. If that's enough for you, just sit there and sit forward. You can be sat up on a chair, this doesn't matter, as long as it's a fairly firm surface. You can gently rock forward and back in your upper body, because that will activate your glutes and hamstrings by doing the forward-backward movement. Or you can do the knee, or I'd maybe suggest do both. Okay, but again, 30 to 60 seconds, spend as long as you want. You're not going to do any damage by stretching there for a long period of time. When you're ready to, fold the foot over the leg, just sit up, and lean. And again, you can do the gentle rock forward and back, looking like you should be locked in a padded cell. You can open and close the knee, but the pressure is enough. If it's not hurting, like hurting is a strong word, if it's not uncomfortable, then just adjust the ball. This should be uncomfortable. It should be a 5 or 6 out of 10. If it's more than a 5 or 6 out of 10, you probably need some treatment on that. So do a lighter option for release if it doesn't ease off after about 30 seconds. Either come and see one of my team. If you have a regular therapist, I'm supposed to say we're better, aren't I? Go and see your regular therapist. But if it's just like a 5 or 6 out of 10, or the 7 or 8 out of 10 is just for a second, and then you can relax into it, you do have a problem there. You need to be aware of it. You need to be careful, because that's a warning shot. That's not, oh, I've just pushed it a bit hard today. That's your body telling you there's a problem. If you ignore it, you will have an injury. So get it addressed. And it's why stuff like this is so important. Okay? We're then going to take this out. Straight leg hamstring stretch. Both legs. If that's too much for you, one leg. If that's too much, do it sat on the sofa or do it at your desk. Put the foot up onto a stool or onto the coffee table, because if you take this leg out, the stretch is much easier. Draw the toes towards the shin. Remember, the angle of your ankle will have a small impact on the stretch that you have. The angle of your body will have an impact on the stretch that you get. And the angle of your pelvis will have an effect. There is no right way of doing this. There is that's what feels right for me today. And if you notice, I've put the roller under my knee because I want this leg completely relaxed. It can be pillows, it can be shoes, you can be on the sofa against the arm of the sofa. If you can't reach your foot because you don't have monkey arms like me, that's fine. Wrap a towel around it and gently pull. But remember, it's gentle, it's still. This is a 3 or 4 stretch. You know, literally 3 or 4 out of 10 pull. It doesn't need to be stronger. If you're stretching as hard as you can, you're causing more irritation than good. And the reason you could do these stretches 5 times a day, every day if you want to, is because they're very gentle. I'm just filming at the moment, Angel. And gently ease in. 30, 60 seconds. Then bend. In and pull. That doesn't stretch for me, that's not enough. So if you need to, hold on baby. Wrap. Remember, you can use your towel. The knee comes in outside the ribs, and you're aiming to have your knee in line with your armpit, foot over knee, and gently pull down. Now, because I'm tight, my bum wants to lift. So gently push your bum down. This you might have to do on the sofa, on the floor, or at home rather than doing it in the office. Because if you start doing dead bug poses in the office, they might get you sectioned. Or it might become a thing, you never know. Let's have a lay down after a meeting, let's all have a nap. Now gently push the foot, if you want a bit more, up into the hand or into the towel, and feel the stretch in the back of the leg. It's a really neglected stretch, the bent leg hamstring stretch, and it gets deeper into the tendons. It will adjust how you're feeling it up by your pelvis. Because remember, there's the insertion and the attachment. There's the origin and the attachment. There's the top and the bottom of the muscle. And the position you're in and the way you're activating the muscle changes the way those are stimulated. The last stretch I want you to think about doing for now, fold the leg over, give it a cuddle, and sit up nice and tall. Now, it can just be here and cuddle it, and you build to this, but it's a really good way of getting into the side of the hip and the IT band, and getting the stretch into your low back. Shoulders back, chest up, big twist. Okay? 30 to 60 seconds. And then gently release. So for me, those are your go-to stretches. The last one that I might be out of camera for, ball, bottom of the foot, gently roll your hip forward and back. Now this is a 2-pronged attack. This, if you've got a decent sized ball, will hit your calf, but it will also release your plantar fascia. So you're rocking forward and back, adjust where the ball is. Yes, you can come out, baby. Hip forward, hip backwards. Obviously you need equipment for this. You could do this same stretch, foot up against the door frame, while you're standing chatting, waiting for someone to come through the door, while you're in the kitchen, chatting to the missus or the mister, or the neutral. While you're bathing the kids, put the foot against the bath and stand talking to them with the foot up. You're releasing the calf, okay? 30 to 60 seconds, longer if you want. 3 to 4 effort on the static stretches. 5 to 6 on a trigger release. Any 7, 8s, 9s or 10s, go straight to get some treatment, please. Good luck.